This is Harvester Radio, the voice of the Spice Miners Guild, broadcasting from Hephaeston Depository at frequency 732.4 on your local Communinet dial. It's the Graben presented by the Imperial Scenarist Guild and Linder and Gold Coffee. Wake up with Linder and Gold. We put the spice in it for you.
The Graben Gang was recorded before a live studio audience.
Another day, another ever see. And there goes Frank flying by. Hello.
Hey there, neighbor! How do you like my new Thopter? Yeah, built it myself!
Oi, you okay, Frank?
Just a flesh wound.
Yeah, not to worry, love. He missed our property entirely. Oh, there you are. Morning, sunshine.
Grabbing life isn't for the faint of heart, but at least we keep it interesting.
Now, if I can just get this old water recycler working, who in the right mind would make it like... Oh, come on. Oh, fantastic. Oh, the screws are made out of Swiss cheese now. That's quality work here, boys. Yeah, lovely. Oh, you... Patient son of a nigger.
That thing's older than your jokes. Give it up already.
No. Don't you listen to her, Betty.
Who's Betty?
What? The water recycler, of course.
At least we know who we're burying when she conks out for the last time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, almost got it. She just needs a little coaxing, and she'll start purring.
R.I.P. Betty. Gone, but not forgotten. Maybe you should get Frank to help.
Do you remember the last time we got Frank to help? You were visiting your sister in Hurricane, and Depot 12 got popped with that surprise inspection, yeah? Well, you don't remember? The man said my hair was 3 centimeters over guild regs.
Oh, now I remember. You were kinda shaggy, Dove.
Oh, I had no choice. I needed it cut.
And I told you to wait until I got home. I don't know why you would ever go to Frank.
I look like a bloody Harkonnen for weeks, love.
Mom, Dad, can you guys keep it down? I'm trying to hear my Communinet shows. Hey, Junie, hun. Maybe you can do that outside and keep an ear open for worm sign.
You know, sandworm activity's up 9,000% since that bastard Zantara took out the shield wall.
How did Zantara take out the shield wall in 1 day, and it took you 6 months to build a shed?
Don't you compare me to that outlaw.
No, trust me. I've seen his holo. You don't compare at all.
Oi, now, that's seditious talk, that is. He's an enemy of the Imperium.
Oh, that sounds like a good game for frisky time. Enemy of the Imperium. Ew, you two are gross.
What? You're gross.
Dove.
What? Have you seen her bedroom? Or, and I dare you, have you smelled it?
Speaking of which, where's your mother? Hey! Get out of my grabbing, you overgrown bottom sucker!
Mum, what are you doing?
I'll
better
teach
turn
you
that
this
on.
thing some manners!
Alright, let's turn off the radio station. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, how are we going today? Sorry about that, just had to get coffee, and my son has a mate over at the moment, so I had to quickly take care of a couple of things there, which made it slightly longer than I was expecting. For those of you who are unaware, there are actually radio stations in this game too. So Imperium Classics, Harvester Radio, Atreides Radio, and Harkonnen Radio. What's actually kind of cool about these, other than the little radio shows they've got on there, which are all themed to each of the particular groups, a lot of the music, if I can find, is actually like chip tunes from the older Dune games, like the older Dune, Dune 2. I think I caught part of a track that I'm sure was from Emperor Battle of Dune as well. So there's a whole bunch of really cool crap going on in the background. But we'll turn that off for the moment. Anyways, how are we all going. So, as I said at the end of the last stream, I was going to do a little bit of work off screen to, work out the flow and the basis for the base. And so we've done that. Let's do a quick tour through so you can see exactly where I'm at. We'll start from outside of the entrance. So the bridge got a little bit of a rework, as you can see. I've still got the same basic overall shape, so we're going for the trying to be authentic in the look, the bunker. Main entrance into the mechanics bay. We've got a bit of a mural up on the wall there, some better storage floating around, recycling machine and repair bay to get rid of all the junk and repair all that crap after we get back with stuff broken. Blood processing's up here. The base respawn point is just here for the moment. Water's hidden in and behind the wall there, just for that, while we've got it. This is the generator room, which we only have 2. We'll talk more about that in a moment, because that's part of what we're up to today. Top floor, haven't really done anything with at the moment, just because I can't build the machinery yet that I need to work out exactly how that's going to go. Balcony over the top, which is going to be where I put my wind traps. And the top of the bridge, which is a little bit larger now, and I put a donkey statue in there because I have no idea. It seemed like a good idea at the time. So that's where we're up to. Dead Meat's doing dead meat things just over there. I'm sure he'll be on comms a little bit later, if he's not waiting already. So that's what we're up to. Now, what are we up to today? Well, as I said, I want to build some more machinery up here for more advanced crafting, but I can't. Basic Survival 101. The base requires power. Everything you build within the base consumes power. If you exceed the consumption of power by building more machines in Dune, it shuts everything down, including the base shields, which means the base gets destroyed. It also shuts down your water processing, which is not good. So I can't do any of those things. First problem that I've got to deal with in order to be able to progress through the technology tree is I need to solve the base power. Now I could build a whole bunch of these 75 watt generators, or the 75 power generators, but that's really not the way to do it. The way to do it is to build, and I'll bring it up here, is to build wind turbines. Now we've got most of the ingredients for this already. I've got steel floating around and I can make more easy enough. I've got a load of cobalt paste because I have done a little farming for that, but I need calibrated servox. Now, I can get these from mines, and I can get them from Imperial Testing Stations, which I have a quest for. So, we are going to go and shoot some people in the face in the Imperial Testing Station, loot the place empty, and hope we get enough to start building some power generation. Once we get 1 or 2 wind turbines up, I can then almost instantly build all the machines I need, and we can produce through to start building the buggy. Yes, I may have spent a little money in Arakeen to get a whole bunch of things. I'm still trying to work out where to put... I'll come out here so it's easier to see. Again, I play too much Barbie's Dream House when I'm playing games like this, but I do love it, and I'm trying to work out where to put this giant statue of the worm. I haven't quite worked out where that's going to go yet, but it's going to go somewhere. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly get myself onto Discord, just in case Dead Meat is floating around. He probably is at this point. Nope, he's not yet. That's alright, so if Dead Meat or Vox shows up, I am sitting in the usual space. Blood bags are empty. We've got 950 rounds. Still running the standard Karpov 38 at the moment, because I can't build the weapons machine, but I have managed to recover and repair a Harkonnen Dirk. 18 medkits. Yeah, we're pretty well set up. I did actually manage to get a bit of spice residue earlier today as well. We had a spice blow happen right in front of the base. So that was cool. I've got nothing that I can do with it for the moment. Fuel is good. Ooh. Before we go anywhere, we should probably do some repair work on the bike. Welder and some This is still the first bike that I built. It's still the Mark 1, and it is kind of in rough shape at the moment. Treads are all down about a third. The engine's doing okay. Yeah, chassis is fine. That's alright. That'll keep us going for a little bit longer. We might do a little bit more of a run for cobalt paste as well later on too. You need a large Roomba for all that room inside. I will need all that space inside eventually. A Roomba would be cool though. So what's the plan for today? We are going to hit Imperial Testing Station number 10. I need Servox to build the... one. Yeah, the spice blow is right here. In fact, it might. No, it looks like it's gone. There was still a little bit of residue left that I was going to raid. We need Servox to build the wind turbine so I can get enough power to actually build the rest of the machinery without shutting down my own shields or without filling half the base with the beginner level power generators. The spice blow just there. I'd like to collect it, but I don't really have a use for it. Actually, no, that's okay. I was just thinking then, I probably should have grabbed some water when we go into the Imperial Testing Station. There'll be water inside. Yeah, we're cleared across here. Although, wait for the Sardaukar ship to move through first, might be an idea. Yes, I never seem to have enough Serbos. Yeah. Well, there's some in the Imperial Testing Station, there's also some in the mining stations. The mining station would be... Spice Blow. Relatively close, pretty close to the other one too. There's a few of them popping off near the base today. The mining stations would be relatively easier to get them, but I've got a quest to do the testing station anyway, so might as well do that. And then I've got to hand in the quest to the Harkonnens for finding one of the spies, the Atreides spies. Because my plan is I'm going to side with the Harkonnens until I get access. Yeah, that's the start of the testing station. Until I get access to all their stuff, or to their vendor, so I can buy their base parts. I wasn't expecting to be seen then, yet anyway. To buy all their base stuff, and then I'm going to betray the Harkonnens and side with the Atreides. The Harkonnens are too dickish even for me as a general rule. Uh-oh, that's not what I wanted. Right when I'm trying to get in, these arseholes. Every time. Spice Blow means spices come to the surface? Yes. The way spice gets to the surface... I'm just going to run and I'll circle back around. I don't want to fight Chone mercenaries as well as whoever's in their base to get to the station. I'll just outrun. Wait till the ship buggers off. Circle back around and kill. Yeah, the way spice works, whatever it is that from the worm that triggers the spice, I still need to go back through and work out exactly what that is. It leaves a deposit under the surface which builds over time. Eventually it reaches a critical mass and it explodes, and when it explodes, it sucks all the sand from the surface down and blows all the developed spice to the surface where it gets harvested. And the explosions are quite violent. If you've seen the first Dune movie, one of the guys dies on a spice blow, and So yeah, that's what that is. So there's should be one that we spotted there before, and there's another one that's right next to it. If we had a spice harvester, that would be really good. Relatively close to the base too. Right, Sardica's plug it off. And it looks like the mercenaries we dropped are currently fighting whoever's taken over the testing station. I'm not actually sure who it is. Turret. Let it do turret things. Well, that was stupid. Stop shooting at me while I'm trying to... Missed all my timings then too. Shields on. That would have probably been smarter from the beginning. There we go. Right, that's the mercenaries dealt with. Want to drink your blood? Did you plan for the Harkonnen to drop to take the mercs out? No, it would have been much... Oh, damn it, I'm dying of heat stroke too. It would have been much easier for me to just take the mercenaries out on my own. The Harkonnens dropping in was actually... The Chome mercenaries dropping in was just a pain in the ass. Because, yeah, the ships are Imperial Sardaukar ships. The guys that drop out of them are actually Chome mercenaries. Chome being sort of the... is that going to be sheltered? No. Oh no, it is sheltered. Okay, cool. We will leave our bike there then. Being one of the factions that we're getting all the building off. It's their job to maintain construction, supply, and so on Arrakis. They're closely tied with the navigation, the Navigators Guild. How do you eat the spice food? It will not let me. You got to progress through the game more. There's a point where that comes in, and balancing your spice load becomes a factor. For the moment, you're just sort of gathering it. At least as I understand it. I've never got to the point of actually needing to eat it myself either. One would think the Sardaukar would have more advanced ways to detect you rather than a spotlight. It's kind of in theme with the Dune universe to have low-tech solutions. You know, the old excuse from the books is that most of the technology either doesn't work on Arrakis or it attracts the worms. That's usually the go-to. Alright. Oh, one other thing too, while I'm at it. Because this happened to me and I didn't realise it had happened. If anybody's playing the game and they're having issue with the parry timings when doing melee combat, and I personally think this is the reason why there are so many complaints about the melee combat in this. Settings. Go down here and assuming your graphics. Assuming your your computer can actually do it and you don't have performance issues. Overall upscaling preset on, term frame generation off. The frame generation doesn't interfere with your attack animations, but it screws up all of your parry timings. It knocks the parry timings out of alignment with all of the animations constantly. So unless you're facing a low-level enemy where the parry timing, the parry window is, you know, as wide as the Titanic's hull, you're going to miss it 9 times out of 10, unless you're just pop lucky. Turn that off. If your computer can handle it and you can deal without having frame generation for FPS, just get rid of that shit, because it'll make your life easier. Health on you. I don't like frame generation in general because it just feels like a lazy way to avoid optimizing the game. This one's not bad. I turned it off and I didn't notice any noticeable difference in terms of frame rate, but the parry timings are much easier to hit now, so. Everyone is very armoured, right? Never an easy kill. That, and I'm still using some relatively low-level gear for some of these enemies. So, like, I'm still only using iron level, yeah, feeling parched. I know there will be water down here. I'll rush to
Welcome to Imperial Desert Botanical.
I forgot to grab my leader jar, and I don't have still suit on. I've got iron level heavy armour on at the moment. It was my stupid.
Someone's here.
Drink. There we go. That's a start. I only really want to take the darts off these guys and drain them of blood. I want to keep as much of my space clear as I can. May take any plant fiber just so I can make bandages later if I need to. But hopefully we won't run into that much of a problem. Nope, nothing.
Identify yourself.
Hop out a turret. Him. I cannot wait until I've got the weapons manufacturing bench. So I can make the sniper rifle with the scope. It'll make the range combat so much easier. Just pick them off from range. Do they have portable blood purifiers? No. No, you got to bag it up and take it back. But it's alright, we're in an Imperial Testing Station. The Imperial Testing Stations...
Attention, all of
listen
you.
to the audio log.
Yesterday in Harkov village, Christoph referred to me as Immenbrech Healer. How hard can it be to remember this simple rule? No military title. We take a risk every time we need to enter settlement. A slip-up like this could easily be the death of us all. Make sure every one of you hears this message and understand it. Christoph will not be returning to us. There will be an auction for his gear.
The Imperial Testing Stations, as you can see, is where the Empire was playing around with growing plants on Arrakis. So they're full of water. They're actually reasonably good places to farm if you need to get a bunch of water and you can't find any good reliable paths for for your flower patches.
Engaging enemy.
There we go. Cool. Anything useful there? I will take your bullets because I will be going through, or darts because I'll be going through a lot of those. And we have water. So just got to keep an eye the whole way through the place. You'll find water supplies. Right, that's our first good supply chest. More darts. And no more water supplies in here, but that's alright. We're above desperate at the moment. Yeah. Alright, go to the other one. This one's shielded. No, you don't. Die. Cool. Good morning, Jeff. How's it going, mate? Mags, did you not have eye problems a while ago? How are they now? I actually had an appointment with my ophthalmologist yesterday. No compatible containers, so we're full up. Current vision corrected with the new lenses is... Actually, I can check this. Make sure I get this right. So I've got the whole report sitting next to me at the moment because I'm going to get a whole bunch of processing stuff done for it. It's not, the numbers are not great. 618. 618 in left and right eyes. So that's my current vision. That's corrected. That's with lenses in. Without the lenses in, I don't register on the scale. My vision is that bad. I don't register on the scale. But it appears to be stable, so it's not getting any worse. I'm able to function. I still have some restrictions, as I've explained in the past, and it's still a thing now. I can only wear the lenses for about 10 to 12 hours a day tops. So my day generally doesn't start with being able to see until 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm out of bed earlier than that, but I have to give my eyes a period of time without the lenses in, so they have the ability to air, I guess is the best way to put it in. And then I tend to wear the lenses in 2 batches with an hour break in the middle. If I wear them more than that, I can, but over time, I'll start to cause more and more irritation to the eyes, to the point where the eyes will actually start to swell. When that happens, I'm unable to wear the lenses at all, and it can be 24 to 48 hours without being able to use the lenses to see. Yeah, that's just how it is. It's managed. It's managed as best as it can at the moment. Yeah, it could be worse. I was very, very, very concerned there at the end of 2020. Oh, sorry, 2021, 2022. It looked very much like I might not be able to get new lenses at all, which means I wouldn't be able to see anything. So this is better than it could have been.
Shield on!
Oh, I got trapped with no stamina. That was... I hate that. I hate how things take your stamina down in this so much, and there's very little you can do about it. Everything is built around stamina. No stamina, you can't attack. No stamina, you can't deploy any of your abilities. You can't block. You can't dodge. and most of the stun locks will lower your stamina, or take a chunk out of your stamina. And a lot of the enemies you face, like that there, have an AoE ability that you cannot dodge that will take away all your stamina. The stamina reduction, anything that could increase stamina is arguably more important for health. There. The wrong combination of enemies can give you real issues, particularly if you've got a couple that have the ability to attack your stamina all at once. They just stun lock you down and kill you. There's very little you can do about it. I think they need to work some of those stuns a little bit myself. Cool. I got 2 sets of glasses, one for the computer and one for regular version. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of headaches recently as well. That's part of the reason why I was in there seeing them. I suspect I may need to wear glasses over my contacts now. It's looking that way. So that's part of what the testing was, to try and work that out. Whether or not, even with the lenses in, I might need some more adjustments, particularly for when I'm on the PC. Yeah, the last couple of weeks I've been downing painkillers like that. Just regular, but still. Let's loop back around. Glad to hear it's not all pessimistic. Well, but if I was going to live in pure pessimism all the time, I'd never get out of it. It's kind of how it is. But yeah, I can deal with this. This is, I have the ability to see, play games. I don't like to drive too much because I'm on the very borderline of being able to keep my license, and I'm aware of that. So I tend not to drive anywhere that I'm not familiar with, and I tend to avoid driving at night if possible. I prefer to drive during the day, which kind of sucks because I used to really enjoy driving at night, but now I don't want to I try and avoid anything that's going to make things harder for me than they need to be. So, be aware and, don't be a dick and try and, do the right thing by myself and by everybody else on the road. So, yeah, tend to do the small trips around town and that kind of stuff, but yeah, you deal with it. You find ways of working with it. I mean, I've always known there was a possibility that I would lose the ability to drive and possibly lose the ability to even be fitted for correction at some point. So long as we're not at that point, it's definitely an upside. Art of Stuttering. Hey, how you doing, dude? The more I see this game, the more I want to play it. It's a bloody good game. I mean, for a survival... I've explained this a couple of times. For a survival game, I haven't been bitten by a survival game like this hard since Subnautica. And I would argue this is better than Subnautica. The survival is entertaining, the base building is fantastic, but unlike most survival games, you actually have something to do. There's quests, there's NPCs, there's story. There is a reason for you to actually be doing things. You don't come into that situation that is very common with survival games, that you're sort of playing the game to play it. The end is the goal. It's part of what makes Subnautica so good, is that there was an ongoing storyline and mystery that you wanted to explore your way through. This has got a little bit of that going for it, but even more so, because there are other characters there that are not... Oh, that was close. Double stem locks, and then just dumped by the minigunner. I think it's one of them. if there had been one more guy there, that would have been a reset. There's the stun lock. I gotta wait for it to wear off before I can move. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll take all your shit. Yeah, it's not the damage they put out. The damage they put out's fine. They hit really hard, but that's fine. It's the fact that they've got an undodgeable AoE stun lock that also saps your stamina. That's a problem. Because if you get two, which we just did, two that can do stamina draining attacks at the same time, you just get fucked. You can't move. You can't attack. Because every single thing, even the ability to drop a turret, is tied to your stamina bar. And if you have no stamina, you can't use any abilities to escape either. You can't use the grappling cord, you can't drop a turret, you can't throw a grenade if you've got them equipped. Everything is tied to that stamina bar. So if you get multiple enemies that stack stamina draining attacks and stun locks at the same time, hitting you at once, it's a luck of the draw whether or not you survive. They need to tone that down, or they need to include a way of mitigating those stamina attacks in the game, because currently there is none. The shields don't do anything. Those stamina draining attacks will also go straight through the shields if you've got them turned on. There is no mitigation for them whatsoever, and they are the major problem with trying to deal with some of these fights at the moment. We got over here. Rarely drive anymore. I have a heart condition that flares up. Don't want to drive just in case. Yeah, that's my opinion of it too. It's just, you're aware that you've got a problem. You're aware it could be an issue, so you limit. You know, the responsible thing to do is limit exactly how much you expose yourself to that problem and the other people on the road. So I still drive, but I drive roads that I've been driving for the last 30 years that I know like the back of my hand. And I don't travel all that far. If I've got to travel somewhere, I'll jump on a plane and I'll take a taxi on the other end, if it comes to that. I don't do that very often, but...
Mikhail, it's clear we need more people with mechanical expertise
or I'll get the wife to drive.
if we are to meet the quotas set by our new bosses. We have too many here who can't handle anything more complicated than Trigger. They can be our field men and our muscle, but we need skilled hands. So you and I will need to do some recruiting. There are plenty like us who have chosen to leave the service of the great houses. We must find those among them with vehicle maintenance experience. That includes former Atreides troopers. Yes, I know. Bad blood. But we have more in common with Atreides deserters than we do with our old comrades. Anyone who can't see past old grudges won't have a place here.
Hopefully that'll be a little bit better, guys. Just drop the master volume down another 10. So hopefully that'll be it. Is stamina easy to increase? No, there's very few abilities that do anything to affect stamina. The minigunner. Shield on. Shoot! Oh, damn it. Missed the timing. There we go. Die. Take your bandage. Yep, shielded gunner. Come on. Oh, there's two of them. There's the AoE stun, and there goes all my stamina. The bar just above my health bar, the green one, that's my stamina bar. Just for... shielded. Oh, they got somebody with grenades down there as well. Get the one behind. There we go. No more grenades. Yeah, the turret's not really useful for him because he's got a shield, and where his weapons would go through my shield, like it's butter, his shield's basically impenetrable to all guns, including our turret. You assume every single enemy in this game has access to the single best shield that can be purchased within the game. It's basically how it works. You can use disruptor weapons which will get through shields, but the problem is the early disruptor weapons, which are basically a submachine gun, are kind of shit. They chew through 1 billion rounds of ammo to do anything. They have no accuracy and their damage is garbage. They get better later on, but your initial ones, which is what I've got access to now, are just trash. So, makes these guys hard to deal with. You've just got to be very slow. You got to stop and think about it a little bit, which isn't that bad. Like that fight there in the corridor wasn't too terrible. Just had to work out how to pull them apart. It's more when you get multiples of them in close range and they all drop those stamina affecting stuns. That's a pain in the ass because you don't have a counter to that, at least not yet. I don't know if there's some end game gear that might give you some kind of counter, but there's just none at this level. Yeah, I will take all of that. I don't think we've gotten any of what we're here for so far, but that's alright.
Hiller, here are this week's notes from our market contacts.
So basically it's fuck you, top of the cannons.
Demand in
Yeah, basically. Hey,
those from one-man ground cars are valuable.
I don't know, right?
But larger units from sealed system ground cars and ornithopters will fetch the best prices. Stick to Chome's standard models since custom fabricated
Guess what I'm
units are
doing.
becoming too easy to
Playing
trace. The dealers won't touch
Yep.
them. Make sure our
French
acquisition
tanks.
agents are aware of this. The market for scrap metal is nearly glutted because of competition from scavengers in the Hogga Basin. But there is still a strong market for copper, aluminum, and plasteel components. Do not forget to pass on these tariffs as soon as you have completed them.
The closest service we have appear to be Singapore. Ping 77 to Australia. But the problem is those servers are terrible for everybody else in the world, and I play with a lot of people all over, so the server I've chosen to play on is actually West Coast, United States. It's the lowest ping server in the US that I can find. Ping isn't too much of an issue though, 180 milliseconds. Most of this game, you'll see I'm not having any issues at all. The parry timings, now that the frame generation is turned off, are fine. The shooting mechanics, easy to hit. Everything's good. You get the smallest touch of rubber banding every now and again, but it's usually not a problem. I haven't found anything with a ping of 173, 174 where it's been a problem. The game seems to handle that nicely, which is good. Because it means at the moment, I think we've got other people from Australia, a few people from overseas, around the world, like Europe and the US. So there's a good mix here. And I play in another server where the ping's about 250. You've got to be a little bit more cautious with your melee fights there, because at a quarter second, your parry timings can be a little bit more difficult to hit, even with frame generation off. That said, it's still doable. So, yeah, 180 Australian. Yeah, that's the thing. Most of the world is used to having pings of below 40 at all times, regardless of what you're playing. Australia's been playing to the point where we have a quarter second, 250 milliseconds, in just about every multiplayer game we've been playing for as long as computers have been a thing. You do actually adapt to it, I made the joke.
What fucks you over on Nance?
Yeah, I made the joke many years ago about War Thunder. People looking at my ping, and I'm like at 350 milliseconds, and I'm kicking ass. And asking me how I do it. I said, look, I'm used to this. What would actually mess me up more is if I was to travel over to the US and then play on a US-based server with a ping of sub 50. All of my timings and reactions would be out by nearly a quarter of a second. Because every single reflex that I've developed automatically counters the ping. All of the anticipation for where somebody's going to be, I'm already pre-leading the ping when I'm trying to shoot somebody. And it's like that with every game. That's just how it is, because otherwise you don't play multiplayer games in Australia, because we don't have servers for most of our games. So this is just how you do stuff. Yeah, 170 to the US. I don't know what routing they're using, but it's good. That is very good. It's normally 200 minimum in States. So, I have no complaints about this at all. This is not a problem. Where did you go? Should have bought more blood packs before coming here. Could use some water though. We haven't had a water supply in a little while now. I'm actually starting to get a little concerned.
Don't want to turn into salami.
Yeah, I'm just getting a touch dry. I'm not used to not having the still suit. But the still suit that I had's armor, it was good. It was a good suit. But the armor was getting a little thin on. So I've changed over to a heavy armor set, because I knew I was going to be doing some serious fighting. Ooh, hello. I don't need the blood extractor for the moment. Needs heavy darts, and I don't have any heavy darts.
I cannot believe this. It's an outrage. An academic outrage. Our work has barely begun here, and the research is progressing splendidly. But today I am informed that our facility will expand to provide a maintenance station for equipment and vehicles from dozens of testing stations. How are we supposed to work with that going on? The noise, the fumes, the ignorant bondsman workers poking about. Maddening.
Yeah, worst... Oh, hang on. There we go. Yeah, worst comes to worst, I can just drink the blood straight, but it's not ideal for what I need. That is much better. We just picked up an Artisan sniper rifle. Ask and you shall receive with the water. We're now up to half. Cool. We'll find a few more of those. We'll actually be topped all the way up. This is back the way we came. We need to go this way to exit out. So, just a quick check. So 11.4 damage per shot on the Karpov. 57 damage per shot on the Jabal. But it uses heavy darts instead of light darts. Having said that, I can get the right angle here. Because I do have the Frem kit crafting. I can manufacture darts as I go, which is nice. Interestingly, this is the sniper rifle I was going to manufacture once I had the weapons table built. So This is nice. It's a bit damaged, a bit roughed up, but that's alright, I can work with that. More water. It's only got 3 shots in it though, so it'll be 3 shots and then change over to the assault rifle, but that's fine.
Access denied.
There we go. Reload that. So much water here, who needs liter bottles? Yeah, well this is the testing station. This is for growing plants, which is why I didn't turn around and head straight back to the base when I realized I forgot my liter jar. Oh, it is so nice to actually be able to hit the timings now. Oh, and I missed, and then I missed that one. Turn the damn shield on. Stop shooting at me.
Let's get the back.
Yeah, it was my screw up. I should have turned the shield on a little bit sooner then. New dart. Where's the one I can hear talking? Somebody's running them out. Apparently down there. Oops. There we go. Standard sword, not even worth carrying out. Oh shit.
Shield on.
Got poison too, so even though that guy's put his shield up, that poison should be ticking away on him the whole time now.
Enemy sighted.
There we go. Crap. Another one. And there goes my shield. It's alright.
Reload!
Damn it. There we go. Any more down there? Nope, there possibly be... We're doing pretty well on health. Well, I'm chewing through these med packs pretty hard. And then we've got left. We've got 6 left. That I was prepared for. Batteries weigh a lot, but I kind of need to pick them up because we need to convert them over to industrial lubricant. We are getting pretty close to the end of this, I think. I think the next room might be the boss room.
There's someone here.
I see someone.
We'll see someone.
Pretty big base there.
Yeah, these always are.
Meant to be run as a group or designed for solo?
You can. Everything in the game's designed so that you can solo them, but it's obviously easier if you run as a group. The knife will. Lube is very handy. Good crafting out of this one. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I wanted to come here. There's a whole bunch of things we need. I'm not getting the parts we need though, so we might have to hit some mining stations after this, but that is okay, I don't mind. I need some more iron anyway. I think Dead Meat grabbed some of mine after he got eaten by a worm earlier today, so I think he needed to rebuild the bike.
Oops.
I'm only disappointed I wasn't there to see it.
Ain't that
Can't talk too much shit about it though. I will get eaten by a worm at some point. I'm not likely to luck out on dodging them forever, especially as we have to go after riskier and riskier resources as time goes on.
In the end, it all comes back to spice.
I'll take the sand just because I don't want to have to farm it. Make sure we're loaded up. Yep, we're loaded there. Check back over here. Might be water. Would be nice if there is. No. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. We're still good. We are still good. Well, you got to get eaten once so you can get the tooth. This is true. I haven't actually done that quest, but I do know of it. I haven't done that quest on the other character either. Funnily enough, the other character's not a whole lot more advanced to this one now. Mainly because having done some of this once, I'm a little bit more efficient now. So actually getting awfully close. Shot to the back of the head didn't kill you. Where's your friend? There. Oh. I did drink that water back there, didn't I? Yes, I did. Cool.
Attention, all of you! I know you are all impressed with the daring of our friend Cedar, who was bold enough to steal a battle tank from under the very noses of Atreides troopers. Stealing aging ground cars and tractors from the peons of Graben, Sink and Span is one thing, but this takes nerve bordering on the legendary. I am duly impressed. So impressed that I will overlook the equally high degree of stupidity Cedar has shown with this act. It is not in our interest to risk the wrath of powers that have set a price on our heads. No one listens to the complaints of the peons. These are our targets, not the great houses. We deal in civilian vehicle only. Anything else endangers us all.
Well, you get 80 once, you get the tooth. Wait, we can make battle tanks? Not yet. I suspect it may be a thing at some point. Mags, why did you stop playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? My net went to shit, so I couldn't stream it. And then one of the updates balked the save. As I think it was the last stream, I said I'd love to start doing a KCD2 playthrough again. But it would be again. I would have to start from scratch. So I'd have to play through the entire start section all over again.
Where is it?
So I haven't actually played since then because I was so determined to play it on stream that when the entire save went tits up, I stopped playing the game completely. So I haven't played it any further. I haven't played it any further than you saw in the last video that I uploaded on it. So I haven't completed the game because I didn't want to ruin it, and I haven't watched anybody else's stream or anybody else's playthroughs of it because I don't want to know. Oh, there we go, and I'm now out of stamina. Give it a cover. Yeah, didn't want to spoil myself on it. But that's all it was. It was just a bad combination. I had my internet service provider start doing dicky things, which they've been doing for months. That's why my streams have been so intermittent. We've actually had a good run here here at the moment. I'm hoping nothing changes, where the speed's been good and everything's been relatively stable, or at least any of the instability has been at times when it hasn't affected when I normally stream. So I'm hoping it stays that way. So yeah, it was a bad combination of that and just an update balking a save, which, you know, happens. Buggy cut array. Alright, I can't make one of those yet, I don't think, so that is really useful. That one we're not getting rid of. That I try and fix. How bad is it? Buddy car. Yeah, that's not too bad. It hasn't got a whole lot of wear. If I can do a repair on it, it's not quite new, but it's pretty close. What ISP? I'm with Aussie at the moment. Hang on. If that's that way, yeah, that's all cleared out. Which way do I go now? Is it up here? Yeah, I think it's through here. Yeah, it's a buggy cutter. It's a Mark III buggy cutter. So you put that on top of the buggy, the second ground vehicle, and you can harvest directly from the ground vehicle, and any resources you gather go straight into the buggy's storage bay. Makes it much easier to gather all of the resources very quickly. Oh no, that's where it came from. That's already been cleared out. Alright, so that was it. That was that way. We are going this way. So Australian internet is still bad? Yes. Will this ever change? No. It's getting better. I'm able to stream now, but it's instability issues and problems with reliability. The problem with Australian internet, at its core, is we don't have enough people. We have a country that's about the size of North America, mainland North America, or mainland United States. So actually, I think we're 3% in total land mass. We're 3% larger than the United States if you take out Hawaii and all the islands and Alaska. So that's that main section between Mexico and Canada. We're 3% larger, but we've only got 25 million people spread around the entirety of the country. So building a complex infrastructure is a pain in the ass because there's so few people to take advantage of it.
Kill them all.
That's the boss. I probably should have thought about this a little bit better. Yeah, so we got a large area to cover and very few people to pay for it. So we're always going to be lagging at least a little bit.
Which is why Starlink was such a promising idea.
Sector weather alert.
It still
a
is.
large sandstorm is approaching.
It's alright, the bike's in a safe spot, I think. Starlink still is a promising option. I did test it a while ago. The only issue that I had with it wasn't particularly good for streaming then, but it has improved since. The only reason I haven't switched over to the option is basically cost. It's expensive and I'm not particularly well. That's probably the long-term plan, is just to get off. There we go, that was the boss. To get off the entire problem of Australian internet and get onto something like Starlink. Lack of server farms in Australia, yeah, that doesn't help.
Weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
It also comes down to things like I'm on fixed wireless, so I'm actually accessing my internet through the mobile network. The reason why is because the town that I live in is in a place where it's not reliable to get full cable or fiber ran across the entire town. Parts of the town do have fiber here, but I'm not living in one of the parts of the town that does, and the population on the sections of the town that I'm in is not high enough to actually warrant, rolling the extra cable out. And so the best net that I will probably ever get at this house will be the equivalent of 5G mobile internet. And at the moment, I don't even have that. It's a 4G system at the moment. Need a backup tool for my bike? Nope. The backup tool, yes, I do. No, it's nowhere near as useful as people think it is.
Sector weather alert. A
problem with the backup tool. Ooh. Mendia's jacket. The problem with the backup tool is that you can't have any resources in your bike when you put it into your backup case. Which means it's great if you're just exploring around and you're not doing anything, but the second you're actually trying to gather resources while you're riding and you're starting to store them on your bike, you can't back it up. So you're carrying a tool that's completely worthless. That's why I don't bother moving it anymore. If you're moving large distances where you've got to take a extra fuel cell and you don't want to carry it with you, just putting the fuel cell in the carry pack on the bike means you can't pack up the bike. So, yeah.
Welcome to Imperial Desert.
Reveal yourself. Identify yourself.
Take reinforcements. Should be watching where I'm going and not reading chat. Right, we're getting ready to go. So now I'll just loot them for everything. I've gotten all of the items. I take it Starlink didn't work out well at all. It didn't. It was I wanted Starlink. Ooh, I wanted Starlink for the purposes of streaming. And its reliability for streaming at the time was pretty rough. When I tested it was relatively new. It's gotten better since then. And I know quite a few people who do stream on it, so it's clearly fine now. It wasn't good then. Speed-wise, it was fantastic. Uploads and downloads far faster than what I could get on any connection that was available to me on Australian NBN infrastructure. But because of there was like jitters through the satellite, so it wasn't particularly stable for streaming. Now that's apparently improved. It's now just a money issue. If I had the cash, I would get the dish, especially the new dishes are apparently even better, and they've also nearly doubled the amount of satellites they've got up there now. So there's more satellites available, which means there's more coverage, the dishes are better, they transition between satellites better now, which means the jitters now almost gone.
I need help.
Get away from my bike. It's my bike. How many times you planning on reloading that, dude? Ooh, apparently it wasn't quite in cover. That's alright, should be still in good enough condition to get home. Thought that was sheltered then. So basically what you say is the investment into powerful infrastructure would be very high and the monthly cost of customers would be quite high. Yeah, that's it. It's the problem with almost all of Australia's infrastructure. All the areas we're lacking, it comes down to our population. We have a huge country. Oh shit. No, no. And you bastard. Every time I poke my head out. That's alright, I'm just going to cross the desert. I think we're clear of Shahulud for the moment. Eat a dick. There we go. Every single area that Australia is lacking, it comes down to our size versus population. The infrastructure would need to be quite large and need to cross, because you can't just do it for one area. You've got to cover all areas. So there'd need to be a lot of running in between various settlements across the entirety of the country, which not all of them are particularly large. And the further away from the main cities you are, which is roughly half the population is away from the cities, the more infrastructure you need to roll out to less people over a larger area. And so it just becomes unfeasible beyond a certain point to be able to do it. Bang. Hello, worm. I'm getting back into the base. I don't want to get eaten with this load. Yeah, I understand why there is a problem. It just kind of sucks. Nice loot. I pay 95 a month for 120. I'm paying 100 a month Australian now for, I get 30 down and between 10 and 12 up at maximum, but it's unreliable and will often drop down to 2. So call it 100 a month for half of what you've got there, Jeff. And that's the best I can get. That is the best plan that is available to me. I think average internet in the US is around 100 a month. Yeah, the 100 a month isn't so much of the problem, it's what you get for it is the issue. Starlink, however, is 130 or 140 a month, which is just a bit too much for my monthly expenses. I'm not bringing in enough out of it to warrant that at the moment. If I was, I could. What games are we discussing? Stepped away from the moment. Just talking about Australian internet while we're doing the Dune thing. Right, now I quickly want to research those. We'll put that away and... Iron infused spice dust. Bit short on that. Oh well, I will take it. I'm about to step up to steel, so I'm not entirely sure iron armor will actually be worth a difference. And I've got a fair supply of some good parts of that. Put 60 leap suspensors. Now they can both be trashed. Just got to sort through this gear, then fix the bike, and then we'll have to go and hit the mining spaces. What have we got? As you can see, I now actually have some kind of order to where everything is within the base too. Sands go in the other. Yeah, that's it. Wish was so lucky. My ISP recently doubled my rate to 40 to 80 for the same. Yeah, that's happening a little bit. Let's start a position. Decent internet for MagzTV. It's not like I haven't been asking. It's just, yeah, it's never going to be a thing, I don't think. Flour sand. I'm nearly out of silicon. I must be out of silicon blocks. Spare batteries for converting. That is heavy dart ammo, which I'm going to have to carry from now on. Blade parts. Armor parts. Bandages we will keep. I will put the gold in my gold pile. I will put... buggy over there. Take the rest of the heavy darts that I've got in storage. So these two Hoffman shields can go. Power Pack Mark IIs can go. And I will play around to get the blood extractor into my lineup. So, Power Pack Recycle. Recycle and... yeah, that's it. Alright, now. Emperor's Wings is getting pretty tired. The rest is fine. No point in wasting resources on repairing it. Let's get blood unloaded into the system. Actually, I should have done that. Actually, we'll drink first. Should have done that as soon as I started. Our big one. Yep, we got the whole lot in. So we've got a little over 27,000 mils, so 27 litres in the system, and we've got a 47 mil circuit. What? It's borderline criminal. Well, don't poke your head. Comcast is evil. Somehow they're still the least bad option here, though. That is the killer, is the upload speeds. Yeah, that's really is. Like, I can deal with 30 down. I would prefer 100 down. It would make downloading stuff much easier. But for me, it's the other way around. I need to put stuff up, and it's the upload speeds are just a pain in the ass to get. I can get 100 down here without any problems at all, but I'd have to deal with 2 up at maximum. So I've got to sort of
10
choose.
10 years from now?
Pardon?
10 years from now, Australian politicians will argue that nobody needs this newfangled e-commerce stuff.
They're already arguing that now. There was literally a guy who was running in the last election who has who had a clip of him on social media at one of his rallies where he was saying that it was to a bunch of people that were actively using e-commerce in part of their business, that high-speed internet was not needed in Australia because it was only really for silly entertainment and not actually useful for large-scale business operations within the country. Needless to say, he didn't get any votes. Can't work out why.
Complete mystery.
Yeah. He was also about 60 and was of the opinion that people should still be writing checks. So, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, like there's living in the past, and there was really living in the past. He was there. He's one of those people that was under the assumption that because he never learned how to use a computer, learning to use a computer or using a computer at all is in no way useful to anybody for any reason.
Yep.
Did your friend ever fix his base foundations? No. No, it's still floating. It's still floating. I'm tempted to try and fix them myself. Don't care.
What are you doing in my swamp?
I'm quite shocked, actually. I always thought internet access in Germany was expensive, but hearing all that from you guys, yeah, it's how it is. If I was generating more off the streaming, this is in no way a nudge, hint, or anything along those lines, guys, just to be clear. But if I was generating more off the streaming, I'd be able to afford to switch over to something more like Starlink and that now. But it comes down to generating money online. Basically, it needs to be a business expense. And at the moment, I'm not making enough content for it to be a viable thing. So, yeah, that's really what it comes down to. But there is that option now. Starlink, at the very least, I do have the option there. So if things change around and I come into excess income, I'll be able to afford the monthly expense, change it over, and yeah, that'll make things easier. But yeah, just it comes down to that now. That's all it ever is. Right. Now, I need to... I don't think I'll need the static compactor. I do want the blood extractor on my lineup. I'm at 26 grand. We're going to have to go back to Arakeen too. I've got the... I think it was the Holtzman amplifier that the chick that was doing the training wanted for the trooper training. Alright. Ooh, yeah. This bike is getting pretty rough. Going to make a bank deposit? I will. I've already done one. It's not a yet thing, though. I need to get the power up in the base. So, we didn't get the parts. I thought they dropped there, but clearly they don't. Right now, my ability to continue expanding the base is limited by base power. I don't want to build a bunch of starting generators, so I want to build the wind turbines. No, that's not a wind turbine. That's a worm statue. I want to build the wind turbines, which I need the calibrated servox for. I need 20 per, and I only have 3. Complex machinery. Get calibrated servox in those mines. We might just have to run those mines again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to run those mines again. That's all right. I can show you one of my farming paths. You guys might like that. For anybody who's playing the game, this is actually a really good option. Dirk is good. Repaired. I'm going to grab a litre jar of water this time. I'm not gonna... There won't be any water there. So I will grab... That one there's already got water in it. And if I'm gonna go there... Cut array. The Dew Reaper... I'll put the Dew Reaper in the backpack. I will want the static compactor available. We've got 18 bandages. I've got plenty of ammunition. Blood packs are clear. Maybe he's still convinced that the fax machine is the way to go. Oh, I'm sure he was. That sounds like my friend. He's a low-tech redneck in a high-tech world, still writes checks, pays bills, and mails them in. I don't have any problem who lives that way. In fact, I think it's probably a really good way to live if you can. It's more of a when you're trying to get into a position of power and have the ability to affect other people's ability to use high-tech. That's a problem. That's a problem. Man, you should put some Mark IIs on that bike. I'm probably going to build a Mark III, but I'm trying to save up the materials that I've got at the moment for the construction of the for the buggy. This is the this is the original bike from the tutorial area. It's still going. It's just about knackered though. Maybe in the shipwreck? No, they're in the mines. I'm going to have to go to the mines, so that's all right. I need to grab some more stuff anyway. The shipwreck is PvP. It is if anybody else is there, but I've done this shipwreck before. So, this is a little mining run to get the cobalt paste. Is it? To get the crystals anyway. God, now I'm going to look it up. The aetherite. The aetherite crystals. So I can get aetherites out of it, and I can start see if we can get some of these servox. Laser rifles in the game. I'd be disappointed if I couldn't turn myself and another guy into a potential planet cracking nuke. There are no laser rifles in the game yet. As I understand it, they were experimenting with them at one point during development. The results were a little too explodey, and they couldn't work out how to balance them. They're not it's not a they will never be seen in the game. It's a they're not there at the moment, while to give them more time to try and work out how to make them function in a way that's in the way that having a small pseudo tactical nuke available to everybody at almost all times would be. So we take this path down. We want to go all the way down to the base. So this is a really deep canyon.
Also, that sounds like an awful idea, to be honest, to have nearly all NPCs running around with shields.
Yes,
and then giving people a laser rifle to turn somebody else's NPC fight into a tactical nuke.
Yes, this was the exact problem they were having. So yeah, there's no lasers currently. We'll see what happens. So let's continue going down. We want to get all the way down to the base. So there's a circuit here you can run for mining purposes. That's actually really lucrative and really excellent on time. So what you're after is actually the PvP ship, or the shipwreck. I'm going to get down underneath it. There it is there. It's going to park the bike just over here in the shadowy bit. Now the good part is down here, you don't get hit by sandstorms, so the bike will not take any damage. It's perfectly safe to leave it there. So leave that one. Sniper rifle out. Now the red crystals there, that's the aetherite. So we're going to mine the aetherite going up, and we're going to loot the inside of this place for the servox. A two-way tactical nuke, don't forget about that. You both bite the dust. Yep. There's the cut array. Now some of these can be a little bit hard to get because they're on the walls. Getting the angles to actually get the cuts can be a pain in the ass. Just go. I think people kind of gave up on the PvP in this game because it's so wonky. Granted, there are always Genkers with snipers. That's one part. The other part is the game hasn't been out all that long, and not a lot of people have progressed to the higher end PvP. One thing I have noticed with this game, which is really odd, and I'm very happy about this, people don't appear to be rushing it. At least the vast majority. There's absolutely some that have powered through to the end game as fast as they possibly could. But most people are quite happily, you know, just building bases in the mid-range. They're not rushing through to the end. The biggest rush you see is people trying to get to the Scout Ornithopter. And once they're at that, then they just kind of chill out and build their bases and wander around and do shit. Which is good. People are actually taking their time. There we go. Taking their time to enjoy the game rather than trying to rush it. And the majority of the PvP in this game is the end game. It's the open deck at the end. Good night. Oh, I like this thing. I really like this thing. There's blood. And it used to blood being on 4 rather than 3. The sniper rifle's on 3. Whole bunch in there, but usually I don't have the carrying capacity to be able to get it all out anyway, so I won't worry about that. We'll just keep running the circuit. Yeah, if you rush, the game becomes boring. You should take your time. Absolutely. That's always been my opinion, and it seems like more people are taking that out. The feel and need to rush is just not there. Everybody's just chilled, which is good. It's very good. You should take your time. Let's be perfectly honest. Most games fuck up the end game anyway. Enjoy everything in between. Right. Thank you for the blood. Again, I'm not going to loot anything in here that's basically not money or potential ammunition, because I want to save as much weight as I possibly can. Although I will take those aetherite crystals because that's what I'm here to get anyway. Nobody out here, so there should be one over here, and there'll be one on the other side that we can grab. Like the third Mass Effect ending? Yeah, pretty much. Although there was some other problems there. It's a shame too, because, you know, for all the shit it gets, I enjoyed the third Mass Effect. I liked it more than the second. The second felt too small to me. The third felt suitably large, but the whole game was let down by the ending. The whole game was let down by that ending. And I don't think we're going to get another good Mass Effect ever again. Andromeda sucked. It had so many problems, and I have played through that to completion. And the new Mass Effect that they're making, it's not the same BioWare team anymore. Most of the BioWare team that created Mass Effect have moved on, and they're making their own similar style game at the moment, which I actually have a hope for that one. So it's people that don't really care trying to produce a product. So I don't expect there will be much good to come from that.
The problem is BioWare is basically dead.
Yes, BioWare is basically dead. Oh.
Shield on! I need help!
No help for you. Just stabbing. Yeah, BioWare is basically dead, and nobody in there is in the mindset for making games like that now. Okay. There he goes. There's a delay there. Knocked him down and the poison took him. Andromeda. The worst part about Andromeda, in my opinion, and I'm sure there's going to be people that disagree with this, it wasn't. It was that it was a bad game. It was a bad game, but it was that it was based on some really good ideas. the game had some really, really good ideas. There was some genuinely interesting stories littered through it, and a lot of I missed one. A lot of potential. It was just wasted. The whole thing was wasted, and it was wasted in the kind of way that I don't think they'll ever recover from, and wasted in a way that may have killed the entire universe, which sucks because it was a really good universe. Huh. Hang on, my cut array's glitching out. Fixed. Yeah, it wasn't that the ideas behind Andromeda were horrible. The concept was good. The story was executed very poorly, but the idea behind it was good. The idea for many of the quest lines were good. There was some character interactions in there, and some characters that were genuinely interesting, and some character interactions that were genuinely funny and endearing. But as a whole, it was executed so poorly that nothing the things that they did right, and the ideas that they had, mattered in the slightest.
Yeah. And it's a bit sad because idea behind all that good stuff, it was there.
Yeah.
There was the potential for a good game there. Mechanically, it was alright, in my opinion. Something sucked, but yeah.
The last part I need to cut's hidden behind the crystal, and the crystal I can't get through, so I have to... There we go. Start a new scan and a new cut. We're all good. We grab this one. This one's got a chest up here. So we'll grab that aetherite and the money. This is a good way to make money, by the way. We haven't come past any of these actuators yet. Not a single one. I find games like ME have too many cutscenes. Most games almost feel more like interactive movies nowadays. I don't mind that in an RPG. An RPG should have some good cutscenes. It should be telling a story. You are... An RPG, or especially a space-based one, should play a bit like a space opera. It should be large. It should have big cutscenes. It should have a lot of hours of gameplay behind it, because in the end it should be telling a story. The core is the story. Too many cutscenes in games that aren't like that, yeah, that's a problem. I've just never had a problem with that being an issue in RPGs. Although, having said that, cutscenes should never take you out of the action. So, if you're fighting a boss, you don't want a cutscene in the middle of a boss fight. That shouldn't be a thing. Work out a better way of doing it. That kind of thing's bad. Right, now we can, if I get the angle right here, we can get that one. Go. Good ideas don't really mean anything. A lot of people have some good ideas while shooting the shit with their friends while sloshed. Shooting shit... Oh, that was odd. Shooting shit with your friends while sloshed is one thing. The problem is that the good ideas do matter when you're actually managing a product, making a product. I'll give you an example. Star Wars, Force Awakens. Shit movie. Not the worst of the Disney Star Wars movies, but a shit movie. I think most people will agree with that. I don't think there will be too... Oh! And fix that. I don't think too many people will disagree with me on that behalf. Right. One of the characters in there, Finn, was a stormtrooper who broke his conditioning and became aware of everything that was going on around him and, escaped and joined. You guys have all seen the movie, you know what it's about. That on its own, strip away everything else, is a fantastic idea for a Star Wars movie. A way of portraying the Empire. Have a stormtrooper that becomes aware of the brainwashing, breaks out of the conditioning, and then eventually works their way over to join the Rebel Alliance. That's a fantastic movie idea. The problem is, because they used that idea for the character of Finn in Force Awakens, anytime they tried to come back and revisit that, they're revisiting an idea on a movie that's already been done as shit. So they'll never do it. So that idea is gone. Fantastic idea for a standalone movie. It was a subplot on a character that turned out to me to be entirely irrelevant within the universe in the long run and across the movies that they made in the long run. And that idea for a storyline will never be revisited now. It'll never be done. Because it's already been done.
It's been fucked up.
Everything in Mass Effect Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda was a fantastic idea, but they made Mass Effect Andromeda and it was shit. So the ideas that are present in Mass Effect Andromeda will never be used in another Mass Effect game. They can't double dip on it without, And so the ideas are done. Shooting ideas with your mates, yep, that's one thing. The second you put them into media, you have to make them work or they wind up being wasted. And a lot of ideas have been lost that way. So, yeah, there is a difference. I do agree, there's a lot of people who have fantastic ideas when they're out having a couple of cans. But so long as they're not actually used for anything, that's fine. Once they're used, you have to execute them correctly. You have to make them work. Or, yeah. We've got the incoming. God damn it. I'm gonna die here. That's a little lucky. Stun locked. And stun. I fucking hate these guys at the moment. I really want to pick up the weapons. You and your fucking minigun can fuck right off. Asshole. Give me your blood. And we're out of health kits. Thankfully, I still have bandages. My issue with Andromeda was the rinse and repeat of constantly doing puzzles and turn the power on thingy. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of puzzle repeating inside of it. And that's a whole other thing too. Like, if you're going to put puzzles in your game, that's cool. Puzzles in the game is good. But you need to alternate them. You can't do the same shit over and over again. Or at the very least, you've got to improve them over time. So, for your initial puzzle, there we go, that's what I need. Calibrated servox, we have 5. We need a lot more than 5. I might have to go back to that cave and dig around a little bit. But I'll unload everything here first. Where's my cut ray? Can I get a decent angle from here? Good, but that work? Yep, we can make that work. There we go. 175 or 175. I'm actually going to have to throw some stuff away. The last good BioWare games were ME1 and Dragon Age Origins. I don't think they were the last good games. They were definitely BioWare's best games, though. ME2 I played a lot of it. There's constant feeling of something's missing here. Mass Effect 2 felt too small. Mass Effect 2 felt too small. That was the problem. You got a big sci-fi universe and you didn't get to spend much time anywhere in it. Whereas, you know, the first world, you're jumping around planets, you had this big open world, you had, as much as everybody takes the piss out of the buggy, you had the landing sequences in the buggy, so you'll be able to go all these different places, and it just, Mass Effect 2 felt really tiny by comparison. Alright, so normally you just loot everything out here with 2 people, and then what you do, I'm actually going to have to find some stuff quickly to toss. There's not really anything I can toss. That's alright, we'll work that out. Yep, I've got that set up. Now we run over to the PvP ship. Wait, did they do the brainwashing on OG Stormtroopers? I don't remember anything about that. Some were, some weren't. It depends. This is what's supposed to be from the Legends canon, why the Stormtrooper performance was so variable. Some Stormtroopers were like properly trained, dedicated forces that were loyal to the Emperor. They had some conditioning, loyalty conditioning, but you know, that was pretty normal. Everybody in the Empire was loyalty conditioned. There were some that actually had a level of brainwashing in order to bring them in. They were generally pretty good troops too, but they were really heavily conditioned. That's where the whole brainwashing thing comes in really heavily, to the point where they didn't know or remember anything about themselves. And then some Stormtroopers, and these were the conscript part of it, were actually penal. Could really use that. Sorry, we'll skip this. So you get all the stuff out of here, but it's really easy to get to the end chest in this particular ship. So you go to this hole here as soon as you walk through the door from the top. Drop down. Pull the cutter ray. Cut this door. Oh, god damn it. Drop that. My backpack's full, so I won't pick up the door. And there's the end chest. Way of the Lost. We'll take the spice-infused dust. I'll definitely take the 1,000 gold. Artesian Dirk. And that's it, my backpack's full again. And then, when you come here, you use the sand compactor thingy-majiggy, the vibrator sand compactor thingy, do the flower, do the flower sand, put out the fires, jump straight back out the hole here, and that's why we parked the bike right underneath. So we can go straight over here and unload it and go. We'll put that in. Servox. And if you've got more space, obviously you loot the rest of the ship as well, but yeah, that's basically the circuit. I am now going to go back in, because I'm going to check that side room, because I need way more Servox than that. We've only got 5, and I need 20 for 1 power generator. So we are going to go back in. This time I'm not going to be after any of the red crystals. I don't need any of that. What are you doing out here? Is that a player? No. 3 shots from a sniper rifle and you didn't die. Who the hell are you? Thought the New Order troopers were a special case. No, it varied through the story. Finn's whole character arc just got spat on to boot. Yeah, exactly. And like that's bad enough, because I actually liked him as a character. I thought he acted it well for what he got too. But that entire thing's just now thrown in the bin. The entire concept's gone. Star Wars will never use it. And it's a fantastic idea for a story that would allow you to get more of the Empire involved and show a completely different side to the universe. It would be a really good story, really good option, but it doesn't exist anymore. And that's the problem with putting ideas poorly executed ideas into produced media, because anything that is poorly produced is gone. So any good ideas you put into play are wasted, at least for an extremely long period of time, because any time you try and bring them back, you'll just be criticized for it. And so you got to do it right in the first place. Not really interested in the resources in here. I want the chests, because that's where the Servox will be. Also, you don't necessarily need interesting ideas for a good game. See 40k bolt gun? Oh, yeah. You don't need to have... Yeah, you don't need to have incredibly... You just need incredibly good gameplay for a start. I think a lot of the best games out there are actually based on really simple ideas. And they're a shitload of fun. That's a sniper. Oh, and he got me. He got me with a poison too. But I think I got him with one as well. Yep, I got him. Nice. Green light on it. Is it possible to... No. Okay. Fair enough. The stun is a little OP, I think. Yeah, the stuns, as we were discussing this earlier on, the stun's a bit much. They do need to work that a touch. Not filled all my blood bags yet. I've been wasting blood. That is totally unacceptable. Yes, this was the right thing to do. More Servox. Cool. So we need to raid more of this place. Where are the rest of the chests? Has to be more in here than that. The Emperor's wings are about to break again. It's alright, it's about time I replace them. Problem is I haven't got any good repulsor belt designs that are sort of better than it. With the grappling hook, the Emperor's wings are just way too useful. You do shit like this. I actually messed that up. You can get all the way up. I'm not seeing any more glowing green from indicate chests. I didn't mean to shoot the ground then. Alright, catch you later, Buster. Who's the Emperor in this parallel universe? Still Shaddam the Fourth? Yes, still Shaddam the Fourth. Remember, the only change to this universe that led to the differences here is that Paul wasn't born. His mother gave birth to a daughter as she was asked to, rather than a son. And so this is the result. Everything else in the universe, at least from the initial point, is exactly the same. This is supposed to be what would have happened on Arrakis should Paul Atreides never have been born, and should events have continued through from that perspective, or that point. I did the dialogues with the NPCs in MPT2, made the ending hurt more. Yep. I think games today lack that dialogue. Games today lack good writing in general. It's the biggest problem with modern gaming. Writers are the single most important part. Good writers are hard to come across, and because it's really hard to quantify good writing, writers are almost always the first thing that a company gets rid of when they're trying to cut costs. No, I can't see anything up there. And they tend to focus on art and graphics over writing, but you think about all of the best games you've ever heard of. All of the games that originally started a lot of the franchises that companies are milking still to this day, some of which are 20, 30, even 40 years old. They didn't have graphics as an option at that point in time. So in order to be good games, they had to rely on the writing. A lot of those old games were fantastically written. I never thought of parking the bike there. Yeah, that's why I thought I'd show it off to everybody. Since you can drop out the bottom of the ship immediately from the end crate, it's the perfect spot to park the bike and then do a circuit. At least while you're using the bike for mining. Once you use the buggy for mining, then it's, which is what this cave's designed for. You drive the buggy through it and use the laser miner to, pardon me. I use the laser miner to use the laser miner to mine it out. Then it's a little bit more awkward, but while you've got the bike and you've got to do the circuit on foot, it's perfect. It's a perfect path through. Rather than going across the bridge, I'm going to go down to the end and see if there's any crates down there. We just need more Servox. I've got 7 on me. No, I've got 2 on me. I've got 7 total, and I've got 5 back at base. And I need 20, so... Let's see if there's anything down here. I'm back. Sorry I had to go over saying over the fact that my uni's website isn't working and I sent the paperwork needed to graduate. That is fair. Things will always break down at the point you need them to. That's not a good one to have break down either. What ifs are always so fascinating. Yeah, I like the whole concept of what ifs. I'm fine with playing around in universes that are what ifs.
Who's there? Now you identify yourself.
I think what ifs are a fantastic way, if written correctly, if you've got somebody who can write well, what ifs are a fantastic way of approaching a universe that already has an ending. It's the problem with you using a lot of existing universes, say something that's in a book or is in a movie. Because the book or a movie exists, hang on a second. Haha. Gotcha. Because the book or a movie already exists, you already know the end result, which kind of takes some of the tension out of playing through the story, because you already know where things are going to go. So writing around that can be rather difficult. A well-done what-if story that changes that, however, can sort of allow you to use an existing universe without falling into that problem. It's a really smart idea if you can make it work. It works really well here. This game wouldn't be anywhere as interesting as it is Huh. That looks like another mine entrance. We might be able to find some more Servox in there. Kind of wish I brought the bike up here now. This game wouldn't be anywhere near as interesting in a situation where you already knew the story of Dune and how it would play out. Because they would have to fit it in between the lines. But because there's a fundamental change, things don't roll out the same. You can have the same universe and not have to... and not fall into the pitfall. It works marvelously. I don't think I've been into this mine before. What interests me more is the idea of what would happen if the Bene Gesserit controlled the Coet's Heteroarch in the next generation. According to the plan, Paul was exactly one generation too early. Yeah, that'd be another interesting what if. Casually chatting, pardon me, stabs a bloke. Yeah, well, use your manners. Now, Skyrim is so great, still hate the Imperials. Yeah, Skyrim, for all the shit it gets, Skyrim is still a really good game. It really is. Oblivion, I really enjoyed the remake. I played through that. It was fantastic. And I played through I've got the original collector's box for Oblivion. Oblivion was great too. Yeah, it gets a lot of shit. Mainly because it's been so long since it was made and it's been resold so many times. And it just got so big that it just couldn't avoid getting the piss taken out of it. But it was a really good game. It was really well done, especially for the time. I would really like to see an Oblivion-style remaster of Skyrim. You know, really, really pop it out graphically. I know the modders can do a lot of it, but the graphic change to using Unreal Engine using Unreal Engine for some of the graphics was really nice. It really solved some of the pitfalls of the creation engine. Without making it feel not like a Bethesda game. I love the fact that all the glitches were still preserved because they were still using the creation engine for the physics of the game. They only use the Unreal for the graphical upgrade. So all of the original glitches and bugs are exactly there, they're just in high resolution now. Never finished Skyrim main quest. Hey, you and me both. I still haven't done it. I've done all the side quests. I haven't done the DLCs either. I need to do the DLCs. I tried to do a playthrough on channel again. Net quality kind of fucked it up, but I really do need to play through Skyrim and actually complete it all, do the main quest, do all the side quests again, and complete all the DLCs. Because, yeah, I've still never completed the main quest. I get up to the point where you get the castle, and by then I'm more interested in fucking around with the side quests, because the side quests are more interesting. Do we have a chest? Huh, this is Imperial Testing Station 23. I don't want to do this yet, because I'm going to get my ass kicked if I go in there. It's good to know where it is, though. Yeah, I want to do a full gear upgrade to steel with artisan weapons before I go anywhere near that place. But that's a shame, it means no more Servox here. Oh, well, we'll have to head back and see what we can do. I might, if I haven't got enough... Actually, I've got enough money. I should go to the hub and see whether or not I can actually buy some. I might be able to buy a few. At least get one up. We'll see. Kind of have high hopes for Witcher 4. I don't. And it's not about having the female main protagonist or anything like that. Like, you could see that's the way it was going to go. It's CD Projekt Red seems to be struggling with its writing as well. It seems to be going through the same sort of degradation that BioWare went through. I could be wrong, but I'm expecting the writing is going to be kind of shit. Which will be a shame. It will be a shame if it is, but I suspect it'll go that way. There were signs of it in Cyberpunk. Quite a lot of signs of Cyberpunk. Quite a lot of signs of it in Cyberpunk. I enjoyed Cyberpunk, but you could see they were really struggling with a lot of things in there. Now we're going to run all the way back to the ship where I left the bike. Joe Staten departing from Bungie should have been a red flag for everybody. Anytime anyone who was a core to a development team leaves, you should expect that that developer is going to struggle from that point on. Because in the end, the problem is game developers are treated like corporations or businesses, but what they really are is creative collaborations. If the magic of if a game studio is able to produce a whole bunch of really good games, and there's a real magic to those games, with one group of people, I think that's a ship over there, and then a whole bunch of those core people that were the center of that development leave and disappear, why would you ever expect that the people that are left over or the people that are hired to fill those spaces would be able to achieve the same thing? That's the issue people run into. They see the name of the company and they think, Bungie, they think Bethesda, they think, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We all take the piss out of Todd Howard for all the bullshit he does with Skyrim. All the bullshit he's done with Skyrim and with Bethesda in general. Trust me, when Todd Howard leaves Bethesda will fall into a heap. Because he's sort of a major part of the creative drive that keeps everything functioning in the background. When he goes, that will disappear. And the best hope you'll have is that whoever they hire is somebody who has a similar and better idea on how to do things. If they're not, if there's somebody that's worse or somebody who comes in just to run the company and has no creative vision whatsoever, you can consider Bethesda gone. And it's the same with every company. You have to look at games companies as creative collaborations. When the core people leave, that's it. The company's gone. Look at Blizzard. There was a core group of people that had all of the creative drive for Blizzard. When they left, and they left a long time ago, Blizzard turned into what we have today. It's the same with every... Yep, go ahead.
And it got bought by Activision.
Yeah. Well, that was long after.
By the time it was decades.
By the time it was bought, most of the core of Blizzard had already gone. And it's the same with every studio. You can't look at the studio name. The studio name is irrelevant. It's who's in it.
Yep.
They have to be the same people. The second they're gone or they split up, which is why we're probably going to get a really good Mass Effect game very soon. But it's not going to be called Mass Effect. Because the core team from BioWare has come back together, collaborated, started a new studio, and they're building a Mass Effect style game in their own new universe. That's probably going to be very good. Why? Because it's all the people who made Mass Effect 1 and who made Dragon Age. All the people that originally designed the Elder Scrolls have gotten back together and are making a game at the moment called Wayward Realms, which is going to be a fantastic RPG. Why? Because it's made of all the people who built Daggerfall and Morrowind and did all the base design for Oblivion back in the day. And they've come together again after all these years, started an entirely new studio, and they're building another game in that style, using all of this. That's going to be fantastic, but it's the people that have come together. load back to base, and then we'll see where we're at. I might have to go through. Actually, I probably should have handed that quest over to the Harkonnens while I was out here, but it's fine. Crossing, we seem to be pretty sandworm clear here. Not sure what the hell's going on over there. Why risk a new IP when you can feed people slop and they'll still make huge bucks at the box office? Thankfully, that seems to be wearing out. People are getting really sick and tired of all the new sequels, or the follow-ons, or the in-universe. I mean, what's the latest one? The John Wick movie that doesn't feature John Wick. It's got a female main protagonist that's basically shat itself at the box office. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching it. It's...
I haven't even heard of it.
Yep. Star Wars is functionally dead as a result. Ballerina or something, I think it's called, is the John Wick one. Yeah. It's... People are getting sick and tired of seeing that now, thankfully. It's taken a while, but the fatigue has definitely set in. I've got 10 and I need 20. Yeah, I'm going to have to see if I can buy some, I think. I should be able to get some in Arakeen at the very least, so I might have to go there, because I'm not going to just farm around for friggin' hours trying to get them. Sand bike. Let's put scrap. We have plenty of carbon. Might get carbon and iron production going while we're here. I think we should have plenty of water in. Well, that was everything off the bike, right? Oh, everything is at least. I'm just going to grab those. Yeah. Let's unload the blood. And then I'll be able to have a good read of chat. I'm sort of skimming as much as I can at the moment, guys. So I will have a bit of a back read. Right. Yeah, 36,000. Yeah, we'll get some more steel under production, because I will need it. Produce iron. Craft maximum. We got 45. We got enough for 83, so we'll craft steel. That'll chew through some of our water, but that's okay. And with what we just got, we can produce another 94 cobalt paste, which we will absolutely need. That's all the crystals, the red crystals that we were picking up. That's what that was all about. Drink ourselves up to full. And fill up our leader jar. Nice. Alright, quick look through chat. Oh. Bit running behind here. The BG had no desire to take over the universe, too dangerous a position, better to pull the strings from behind. Yep, that was the whole point of the Kwisatz Haderach, was to give them the ability to see beyond anybody else's schemes, allowing them to perfectly pull the strings to every faction at all times. That's what they were breeding in for. That's what they wanted him for. A way of being able to control everybody from behind and being able to see every single potential play that they could make and be able to outflank them at every single turn. I found with the Oblivion remake good, but found the Tress, not buildings, had a shimmer to them, very distracting. I didn't notice that at all. I don't know, maybe a settings thing? I'm not sure. Trees, yeah, I didn't notice that. Graphically, I thought it was really good, but could be the luck of the draw there. There is maybe too many level ups in Dune. If you're power the slave that you can take to the future behind the throne, pulling all the strings, you control the universe whether anyone knows it or not. Yep, that was it. They fixed the issues with the OG, but went one step too far. You shouldn't be able to max out all attributes during the game. That's not role-playing. That is true. That is true. It just works. Todd Howard, yes. Yeah, for all the memes and jokes about him, he is the reason that Elder Scrolls is the way it is for good or bad. And there is definitely some bad in there as well. And when he goes, Elder Scrolls will be different. And as we've seen with a lot of games, different is not necessarily good, especially since whenever a creative focus, and Todd Howard in the end is a creative focus at Bethesda, whenever a creative focus tends to leave a game studio, the person that replaces him 9 times out of 10 tends to be somebody who is just business focused and not a creative person at all, which is why every single game studio where the creative central core that created the game studio has left has wound up turning into a company that essentially wrings the crap out of its own IP and then dies, which is what we're seeing across the board. That's, yeah. Have you seen the Ahoy Kickstarter? Yes, I have. I'm interested. I haven't put any money on it. I'm dead broke, so I couldn't if I wanted to. But I am very interested in the game. I wish them well. Ahoy looks very interesting if they can pull it off. Modern Bungie has none of its creative core left. Stanton was an incredible writer. Marty is an incredible composer. And Jason Jones had real vision for the team. I have no hope for the new marathon. No, it'll be shit. You're right. Yeah, that's Bungie is one that died a long time ago. And yeah, Ballerina, I'm seeing it this weekend actually. Yeah, Ballerina. I've heard it is. It's not apparently not a bad movie, from what I've heard. Like, it's not a terrible movie, but it is just a John Wick movie without John Wick. It's the kind of thing where it should have been its own new thing, a new main character in a new story in a new world. But instead of doing that, they relied on an existing world or an existing story that they can tack a new character onto in order to flow on from, because they don't have confidence in creating something new. It's the Hollywood problem. It's the creative problem at its core. The movie itself is apparently it's a little bit like what was the movie? Furiosa. Furiosa was not a bad movie, but it was a Mad Max movie without Mad Max in it, and so it didn't do particularly well. It's a bit like that. Same basic problem. I can't be asked to go see movies or get invested in new games these days. Last movie was Dune Part 2, and that really shut the bed in my eyes towards the end. Really disappointing. Thing is, in my opinion, every movie tries to have a message or something. That's fine, but not every movie needs to make me think. Sometimes I just want to see shit blow up and other funny things. Yeah, I am amazed that companies seem to have not worked it out yet. If Top Gun Maverick sort of showed anything, and there's been a few other movies floating around of a similar mind, 80s action. They need to start doing 80s action. You want a big, burly, manny dude with big guns and massive amounts of military hardware shooting a billion bullets at crap and maybe cracking wires a little bit in the middle of it. Something that's fun. Something you can just turn your brain off and just, watch and enjoy. It doesn't have to have a message. It has to have a very simple story. It just has to be well-written, simple story that is entertaining and, has a lot of explosions. That would have been fantastic. They need to do more of that. And as much as I never liked them back in the day, I would pay for decent rom-coms these days. Compared to the crap we're getting now, a good rom-com is funny, Get some
At
of those.
least it is that, yes.
Yeah, it's funny and entertaining. Get some of that shit going. We want some of that back too. I need my brain off every once in a while. Exactly. Media should be escapism. It's the issue with modern politics in games. I hate modern politics in games. I have no problem with politics in games so long as they're politics of the universe, because the universe, whether it be a movie or a game, particularly my interest is obviously with games, it's an escapism. I want to escape into this universe, and in this universe I want to deal with this universe's problems. I don't want to go into a universe and have to deal with my universe's problems. I have to deal with that when I get out of bed in the morning, and I don't want to deal with that.
Max, I could trigger you right now so bad.
Probably.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, you can try.
Clan Ghost Bear says trans rights. Sorry, had to be done.
You're lucky I like you or I'd fucking ban you from the server. Cunt. I'm buying 40k Rogue Trader. Is it any good? It is fantastic. 40k Rogue Trader is for a CRPG is fantastic. It is excellent.
It's brilliant.
It is. My name's in the credits. I helped do the Kickstarter on that. I'm in the credits of that game as one of the supporters for it, and I am not disappointed with it. If anything, my only disappointment with that game is I didn't kickstart a little bit higher enough to get the little statue to go with it. It is fucking great. Alcat in general is really good as a games developer, and they're doing an Expanse game with a Mass Effect style combat soon enough, so I'm reasonably interested in seeing them do that. Interested in Ahoy, but it looks like an FPS naval action, and that worries me. Keeping an eye on it, though. Yeah, I'm interested in the concept. I'm hoping it'll do well. If it shows up as good as they have advertised it as, it will be great. But, yeah, I'm not going to be chasing it. His wear is hard, his muscles are harder. Manly McMahon shoots shit in shoot, kill, bad guys beware. Yeah, exactly. Need some of those. I'm sold then. I'm eyeing Super Duper Edition, Instant Gaming Super Discounted, so can't have a good rom-com anymore because women must be better at anything that doesn't need a man anyway. That's the modern politics thing. They need to throw that shit in the bed. And it's not popular anymore either. It's getting even less and less popular rapidly by the day. I got to wife up that in, guys. She's got a bunch of friends. They don't watch modern movies. They watch 90s, early 2000s rom-coms and TV shows. Recently, there's been a nanny run in my lounge room. Nobody watches new shit. None of her friends watch new shit. Nobody I know watches new shit. They're all over it. They go and watch the old stuff because it's just better. Anyways, I should probably... I think I'm caught up now, so I think that's a dead meat. Yep, that is a dead meat. Dead meat, you're in chat. You can say hello, dude. On voice, I mean.
I could, but I was listening to you rant.
Alright. Nanny was fantastic. That's a great idea. Yeah, just watch the old shows. And yeah, I've even been going up and watching it. Alright. I will learn the gun plan. And I will put the iron in there, because that's what we need. And now I've got my gold. Research that schematic. Time to shoot through to the starting, to the quest hub. I'll see if I can buy the parts there. And if I can't buy the parts there... Oh, could have aimed that a little bit better. Oh. There we go. If I can't buy the parts there, I'll go to Arakeen. I'll probably go to Arakeen anyway. But...
Mental Jen.
Hello, Sind. How's it going, mate?
Good. Just killing memes.
Ah, well, welcome to the stream. Say hello to everybody. Mrs. Doubtfire is the only film of affirmation a woman needs. Okay, coffee break for me, ladies and gents. I'll see you in a bit. Yes, I'll have to do a coffee break in a second here too, guys. I'm starting to feel the lack of coffee here. It's not good. But that's
still
all right.
alive.
A couple of minutes.
That's too bad.
All right.
We had a bet going.
I do need to grab some of those blood bags, but this is more important. Bike parts, heal kits. Most of this I can make. It's not a concern. Shit. Here we go. Do we have Servox? We do not have Servox. There's no way to buy them there. Alright, we're going to Arakeen.
Can I fly you somewhere today? Music
How
to
many
my
servox
ears.
do you need?
A trade
At
using
least
award
10.
levies. Look,
That's all right. I'll go buy some. I've got to do a
Doctor's
deposit
on the
and I've
roof.
got to go check a
Let's
quest.
go visit the Red Duke.
I've got to go visit somebody there anyway, so we'll do that. We'll deposit some gold. I'll buy some around town if I can, and then head back. I've also got to check the price on the bigger buggy boot that's available near the friggin' whatchamacallit, near where the ornithopter lands.
Welcome back.
What have we got?
Hop.
Bigger buggy boot Mark III. It's 32,000 for the plan. Steel, advanced servox, cobalt paste, spice, and fused steel dust. Yeah, I've got pretty much everything. It's 32,000. Right. What do you sell?
Hey there, friend. Looking for anything special?
So,
Yep, servox. Do you have any? No. Rangefinders, gun parts? Nope. No servox there. I'll make a bank deposit.
Welcome. Would you like to deposit? How much Solaris would you like?
Yeah,
you
deposit
need
a
to
lot.
pay tax again. How often do you need to pay tax?
8 to 10 days or something. We don't need to pay tax for a while.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Or get a good accountant.
We have you as a vendor. The next one's upper Lance Rate
How's
vendors.
it?
So
You're back for more, eh?
nope. Greens, light caliber compressors. Diamantine dust. That I need to remember, because that might be useful. I know there's a couple of things that need that, and carbide scraps. I don't need them now, but I may need them soon. It's a store that isn't open yet. God damn it, there's no servox here.
You're not from around here. We all come to Iraq. Spice. Have you come for the spice?
Is there any other reason to come here?
Warm weather, friendly locals, and beautiful desert vistas. After 30 plus years running ornithopter support for deep desert harvesters, I know a thing or two. B Squadron, 1st Fleet, 3rd Deep Desert Fleet. They called us the Habanaya Hotheads. Our job was to fly high, search for worm sign, and give the command deck heads up before the old man arrived. The old man of the desert, aka the Maker, aka the Great Sandworm. You know, the 500-meter-long behemoths that haunt the sands of Arrakis and devour everything they come across. Danger don't cover it. If the worms don't get you, the sandstorms will.
That's right.
And
The,
if
worms
sandstorms
don't get you. The sandstorms will.
surely
They do.
will. The deep desert is no place for
Fucking horn
amateurs.
mouth.
Okay, he's only got melange-related stuff, spice-related stuff. Okay, that's fine. He only sells water, I know that. So the last spot is you.
Hello again.
Bought all the calibrated servox. God, they're 2,000. That's painful, but I'm doing it anyway. It's alright, I can make more money once I start going through and shooting stuff. Right, it's 25 grand, just so I can get a power generator up and running without having to keep grinding for it, but that's fine. That's right, I can't use that here.
Are you building a windmill, are you?
Yep.
Can I fly you somewhere today?
But they require lubricant.
Yep, I've got lubricant. Lubricant's easy.
Music to my ears. The basin is a pretty big.
Let's go to
Max
I
trying to
never
connect with us
missed
in our
it.
Dutch.
Let's move.
Building a
Before
windmill.
They put out 150 power apiece, and over 75, and I don't want to fill my base with regular generators. And the batteries you collect to power the regular generators are what you use to turn into the lubricant. So. You think someone would sweep the sand off the streets occasionally? With the sandstorms and the sand being everywhere on this planet, I don't think it would matter. A Space Australian with a she mullet, bad Aussie accent. Honestly, I didn't even pick up Australian there. I picked up British. That's just maybe it's just me. God created Australia to train the faithful. One cannot go against the word of God. Yeah, the next stream is definitely going to become Outback Australia Simulator. It has to be. Stealing from the thieves. We need to do some of these, so we need to make some cash.
I've got that quest, I believe.
Yeah, I will take all of these, whatever they are, we will do them, because I'm going to need to make cash, because... Yeah, I just spent a whole bunch of it.
Yeah, I've got stealing from thieves. If you want to go do that one, I'll go with you.
Yep, I just got to build a couple of things around the base now.
Yeah, I'm just going to gather a little bit more copper and whatnot.
Get my angle right here.
Copper is surprisingly hard to find here. At least readily available copper.
And that's my base down there. Now, we should have everything I need. Yes, I can build one wind turbine. I think I'm going to build them out here, just for the moment. We can move them around later. Actually, no, I'll build them out the front. I'll build them out here. As much as I'm probably going to put a roof on this place so I can build the hangar. First one of those up. Seems a little close. Now we'll build it out here a little bit more. Give it a bit of space until I redesign around it. And grab 100 lubricant, because I've already pre-made some of that. Actually, that's right, just deposit it in. What am I doing? Alright, so we got enough uptime there for 8 days, fully running. Power is being generated. So now we can actually start building some other things. Because I won't have to worry about shutting down the entire base whenever I construct something. So fabricators. I need the garment fabricator. I will work out a better way of displaying these and putting them around once I've actually got everything built. Survival fab, which I'll just put here for the moment. And the weapons fab. I couldn't build those before because I didn't have enough power generation. Refineries, small, still don't have the medium, so that's okay. Storage. Do need to make more steel. That's alright, I'll do some iron farming soon. Now, straight off the bat, how is my current dirt going? It's still okay. Research. Steel class. Artisan carve off. We should. Oh, I've got to grab the right one. Craft that one. Ammunition we're fine. That's not a bad pistol. Well, I won't make it for the moment. So that is an up to 17.4, so 11.4 to 17.4, so we've got a better rifle now. Survival fab. Handheld resource scanner. This is really cool. I got the design for this while I was out scouting off. So this is your static compactor. It's exactly the same as the existing one. But see, worm attraction intensity, high. Power consumption 41. Power consumption here is only 30. Same gather rate, but worm attraction intensity medium. That is really, really bloody useful, that is. When we go out and have to get more flower sand, which we will absolutely have to do so. I've already got, do need Mark III, but I need to make the battery for it yet. So grab that one and switch it out for the one we've got in existence. I'll toss that aside. Now, garment, what have we got in the way of still suits? Armor value 26. 65. That still suit that I had in the first is still better than this. That is still iron level. It's copper. I suppose I don't have the steel ones really unlocked. That's alright, I'll stick with the armor I've got for the moment. Right, let's put that in my backup, so I've got a backup one if we should ever lose it. Now, next. That one. Fabricators. Vehicle fabricator. I need steel, I need complex machinery. That's right, I can get complex machinery from the mines, and I can get steel from the mines. So that is probably going to be the next stop. Do we have any quests down there we can knock over as well while we're at it? Hostile takeover, that's to go back into Imperial Testing Station. Interrogate the second Mobular gang member, that's up at the Harkonnen base. Poke their eyes out, clear the spy counts. Travel the Hand of Kadir, the missing sister. Enter the slaver base at Sweep. That one actually I've got to do for my training for the Mentat. Oh, I went to Arakin and I forgot to hand in that quest. Shit. Oh well, I have to go back there again. Stealing from thieves. Locate the cache of stolen goods outside of Misuraba. This is more important. I will do a quick run to the mining operations and then we can nick over and potentially hunt down the stolen goods. Yes, I've got the buggy plans unlocked, but I need the power generator. I need the manufacturing plant to actually manufacture the parts for the buggy. Once I do that, I can build up a load of steel really, really quickly. Oh, no, not again, not again, not again, not again. You stay over there, you bastard. Every single time I come down here. So we'll grab some steel while we wait for him to go away. Grab some iron rather, we can turn into steel. I think I've got piles of carbon already sitting back in base. The ship went up around the corner, so have to keep an eye on the sky because it will be floating around there somewhere.
How's that you that drove past me?
Possibly. I'm heading down near Vox's base. I'm going to the iron base. Oh, because I need a rate of complex.
That was you then?
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna follow you. Don't know where you are now.
Oh. This is not doing my treads any good. I'm right next to Vox's base. I'm about to swing around the back and park the bike. Find a sheltered point in amongst the struts down here. Sheltered. So if a standstill comes, it won't break the bike. Yep, already in there, so I can pick up some more iron while I'm here. Really? Server restart in 6 minutes? Uh-oh. Looks like I'm heading back to base. We've already had our restart today. There shouldn't be another one. Actually,
well, we had patching as well.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well,
maybe they're hot fixing it.
Possible. Alright guys, what I might do is I actually might park, this is Vox's base here, I might park it in Vox's base just to keep the bike safe. Take a 10-minute break and see whether or not it's just a reset or whether or not they're actually going to shut things down. If they're going to bring it back up, I'll fire the stream back up again. Otherwise, that'll be it for the night, I think. So I'll just take a break here.
Back to base. I reckon I can make it.
Yeah. Well, I need the complex machinery, so I'm only going to drive back down here anyway, so... I like what he's done with the roof in here, doing the long-angled roof. And I do really like this inside. Angled roof pieces. This is really nice work.
I am going to find all the copper I've got so I can finish building my kit back up.
Yep. No, that is fair. Alright. Yeah, I'll bring this one to a close, guys, for the moment, because I don't know whether or not, and I don't want to have a big lead out, so I'll actually end the stream here. In about 10 minutes' time, if the servers are back up, I'll actually start an entirely new stream. And so I'll be back on. If not, I'll call it a night, go to bed, and we'll catch you guys probably tomorrow. Hopefully see you in 10 minutes.